Welcome back to Coins Tool. Today, we're talking about a dime that's been stirring up quite a buzz in the collector's community. The 2007 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark, and how its value has skyrocketed. Can you believe one of these coins recently sold for a jaw-dropping $55,900? Let's uncover the secrets behind this dime's history, why it's so valuable, and whether you might have one hiding in your change jar. First, let's set the stage with a bit of background. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1946, created in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing. This series of dimes has been produced by three major mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each mint marked by a letter: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. The mint mark is key because, while the design might look the same, the tiny letter can make a big difference in a coin's rarity and value. Today, we're zeroing in on the Philadelphia Mint's 2007 release. You might think, why would a recent dime like this be worth anything beyond face value? Well, every so often, a batch of coins is struck with unusual characteristics, sometimes due to minting errors or unique wear, making them incredibly rare and highly desirable among collectors. That's exactly what happened with certain 2007 Roosevelt dimes. Now, let's break down what makes this 2007 dime so valuable. One of the biggest factors here is minting errors. Errors are often seen as flaws, but for collectors, they're pure gold. The 2007 Roosevelt dime has a couple of possible quirks that can boost its value. Some of these dimes have double die errors, meaning certain details were struck more than once, creating a doubling effect. Others might display off-center striking, missing details, or even a faint, partially missing mint mark. These imperfections make the coin more collectible and much more valuable. On-screen text, error types that add value: double die, off-center striking, weak or missing details. And it's not just about the error, it's also about the coin's condition. If you're lucky enough to find a 2007 dime in mint state condition, meaning it looks almost brand new with little to no wear, you could be holding onto a piece that's worth thousands. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC as MS67 or higher can fetch serious cash. In terms of market value, 2007 dimes have been climbing steadily in worth. Most recently, one of these rare dimes in pristine condition sold for a record-breaking $55,900 at auction. Yes, you heard that right, a dime worth over $55,000. Now, why would someone pay that much for a dime? It's all about rarity and collector demand. Rare coins, especially those with errors, hold a high place in numismatics, the study and collection of coins. The rarest and best preserved examples often fetch the highest prices. Oh, let's talk about how you can check if your 2007 dime might be worth a small fortune. Grab a magnifying glass or a good quality phone camera and look closely for any of the following features. Look carefully at Roosevelt's face and the details around the edges. Do you notice any doubling of letters? How about any weak spots in the design where the details aren't as clear as usual? If you spot any of these traits, that's a good sign your coin might be valuable. But don't just rely on your eyes. A coin expert or a grading service can give you a more accurate assessment. If you think you've got a special dime, the next step is getting it authenticated and graded. Professional grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, can evaluate your coin, give it an official grade, and verify any errors. A high grade from these services can dramatically increase your coin's market value. Once your coin is graded, you can decide if you want to keep it, sell it at auction, or offer it to private collectors. There are many online platforms and local coin shows where you can sell graded coins, but remember, the highest value is typically realized at auctions, especially if your dime is in mint condition. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Who would have thought that a 2007 dime could be worth tens of thousands of dollars? This goes to show that keeping an eye on the coins you come across can pay off, sometimes literally. Remember, not every 2007 dime will be worth a fortune, but if you find one with unique characteristics, consider having it checked by a professional. And whether you're in it for the history, the thrill of the hunt, or the potential profit, collecting coins can be a deeply rewarding hobby. We're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins with a focus on one very special piece, the 2014 D Mint Mark 1 cent dime. This unique coin has intrigued collectors around the world, and as of today, its market value is an astounding $45,900. So what makes this coin so valuable? Is there something special about the design, the minting process, or its rarity that makes it worth so much? Stick around as we uncover the mystery behind this incredible coin and why it's on every serious collector's radar. Let's start with a bit of background. The 2014 D Mint Mark 1 cent dime is technically a misstrike, also known as an error coin. Coins like these are especially popular among collectors due to their unique characteristics and scarcity. But here's the twist. This dime was mistakenly struck with the Denver D Mint mark, but with a 1 cent blank. That's right. The minting error occurred at the Denver Mint, where a small number of these dimes were stamped with the wrong denomination, a fascinating error that creates a real piece of history. Now, how did this error happen? The U.S. Mint operates with strict quality control, but errors still occasionally slip through. At the Denver Mint, coins are produced at an extremely high rate to meet demand. The 1 cent and dime blanks were being processed simultaneously, and due to a mix-up, some 1 cent blanks were struck with the dime design and the Denver Mint mark. This type of mistake is extremely rare and nearly impossible to recreate. Coins with this type of error only reach circulation by accident, and when they do, they immediately catch the eye of observant collectors. Let's take a closer look at the coin itself. The 2014 D Mint Mark 1 cent dime features all the markings and inscriptions of a typical 2014 D dime, including President Roosevelt's profile, the words Liberty, and the date. However, the coin is actually struck on a copper-plated zinc 1 cent blank, which makes it highly distinctive in weight and composition compared to a standard dime. You'll notice that the color also appears slightly different. A typical dime is made of a copper and nickel alloy, giving it a silver appearance, while this coin retains the copper-colored finish of a penny. So why are collectors so obsessed with these error coins? Well, to put it simply, it's because of their rarity and uniqueness. Each error coin tells a story about a mistake at the mint, making it a piece of minting history. These coins are like collector's trophies. They're fascinating, they're rare, and they're valuable. Collectors know that only a handful of coins, like the 2014 D Mint Mark 1 cent dime, exist, so there's always a demand. And now, the question everyone wants to know: what's the market value of this coin today? As of the latest auctions, a well-preserved 2014 D Mint Mark 1 cent dime can fetch up to $45,900 in the collector's market. Yes, you heard that right. In some cases, high-quality examples of this coin even go for more. This is partly due to intense bidding wars among collectors who want to add this incredible error coin to their collections. As with all valuable coins, the actual price can vary based on the coin's grade, appearance, and the particular market conditions. For those of you who are new to coin collecting, the grade of a coin is an essential factor in determining its value. The 2014 D1 cent dime's value can change dramatically based on its condition, from uncirculated and mint condition down to those with some wear and tear. Coins in mint state are those that show no signs of wear and look almost as good as the day they were struck. The most valuable 2014 D dimes at auctions have typically been in the mint state range, which explains why collectors are willing to pay such high prices. If you're thinking about starting or expanding your coin collection, era coins like the 2014 D Mint Mark 1 cent dime can be a thrilling area to explore. Here are a few tips for getting started. First, always use a reputable dealer or auction house to ensure the coin is authenticated. You don't want to fall for counterfeits, especially at these high values. Second, consider grading services like PCGS or NGC, which can professionally grade and authenticate your coin, potentially increasing its value in the resale market. The 2014 D Mint Mark 1 cent dime isn't the only famous era coin out there. Era coins have a long history, and each one has a unique backstory. From the 1955 double die Lincoln cent to the 2004 Wisconsin quarter with an extra leaf, these coins are all mistakes that have become legends. Each of these era coins is unique, and collectors seek them out for their distinctive stories and rarity. So, there you have it, a deep dive into the rare and valuable 2014 D Mint Mark 1 cent dime. This fascinating piece of minting history stands as a testament to the allure of era coins. With a current value of nearly $46,000, it's no wonder collectors are eager to get their hands on this unique coin. Remember, sometimes the most valuable things in life come from unexpected mistakes. If you enjoyed learning about this coin, we're diving into a dime that took collectors by surprise, the 2017 P dime. Believe it or not, this little coin could be worth a lot more than just 10 cents. So let's start with some quick history. Back in 2017, the U.S. Mint celebrated the 225th anniversary of its founding. To commemorate this, the Mint did something that surprised the coin community. For the first time in history, they added a P Mint mark to Philadelphia minted dimes. Now, if you're not familiar with U.S. coins, here's why that's significant. Up until this point, dimes minted in Philadelphia didn't have any mint mark at all. Only dimes from Denver, San Francisco, and other locations featured their mint marks, but Philly coins were left blank, that is, until 2017. This single year was the only time the Philadelphia Mint featured the P mark on dimes, making it a one-year-only coin. Think about it, that little P Mint mark might seem small, but it makes this coin unique and highly collectible. Alright, so why is this coin worth so much to collectors? Well, aside from being a one-year coin, there's a real thrill in owning a unique coin in pristine condition. Collectors know that high-grade, uncirculated coins are rare, and those with a P Mint mark add to that rarity. Add in the fact that there's been a sharp increase in demand for these coins, and you've got a recipe for high value. Like with any collectible coin, the condition matters a lot. The most valuable 2017 P dimes are those in MS or mint state condition. In fact, only coins graded MS 67 or higher will be worth significant amounts to serious collectors. Now, let's get to the part everyone's curious about, the value. You might have seen some stories floating around that a 2017 P dime sold for up to $35,900. So what's going on here? This massive price wasn't just for any 2017 P dime you'd find in your pocket change. That sale was for an exceptionally high-grade coin, likely an MS 67 or MS 68, with perfect luster and no visible scratches or wear. Even though you probably won't find a dime in that exact pristine condition lying around, it's still exciting. For lower-grade coins in circulated condition, you might expect values ranging from 10 cents up to $1 or $2. Still neat, but nothing groundbreaking. However, if you come across an uncirculated 2017 P dime in a roll or from a collection, there's a possibility that it could be worth more. So let's talk about the current market value. While MS 67 or MS 68 coins can be extremely valuable, even uncirculated, Regular 2017 P dimes have a decent resale value if they're in top condition. The current market sees lower grade uncirculated dimes typically selling for a few dollars each. In comparison, certified MS-66 coins might fetch between $10 and $20, while those in MS-67 and higher can go for significantly more, depending on the auction. Certified dimes in MS-67 or MS-68 are the ones that are generating serious interest from collectors and investors. MS-67 coins currently sell for around $150 to $200, while MS-68 can go upwards of $500 to even $1,000 at the right auction. So, if you think you've got a 2017 P dime that's in great condition, here's what you should do. First, use a magnifying glass to look for scratches, blemishes, or any signs of wear. The cleaner the coin, the higher the grade it's likely to receive if professionally graded. Next, consider submitting your coin to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. If they grade your coin at MS-67 or MS-68, you might have a dime worth some real money on your hands. So, is the 2017 P dime worth collecting? Absolutely. For many collectors, the thrill is in the rarity and the unique history of this one-year-only mint mark. And who knows, if demand keeps going up, this could be one of those dimes you're glad to have in your collection a few years down the road. If you're lucky enough to have one in uncirculated condition, hang on to it or consider having it graded. It could be worth a lot more in the future. Remember, there are always surprises in the world of coin collecting. We're diving into one of the latest coins capturing attention, the 2021 D Mint Mark 1 cent dime coin. Believe it or not, this little coin is stirring up quite the buzz in the collector's world, and some rare examples are reportedly fetching prices as high as $25,900. Let's start with a bit of background. This 2021 coin is unique for a few reasons, even though it's a common modern dime. First off, a quick refresher for those who might not be familiar with mint marks. Coins struck in the United States come from several mints across the country, and each mint has its own specific mark. The D Mint mark stands for the Denver Mint in Colorado, one of the major mints responsible for producing U.S. coins today. The 2021 dime with a D Mint mark isn't just any dime, though. A small percentage of these coins have ended up with minor errors that make them highly sought after by collectors. Now, you might be wondering, what could make a dime, which is worth only 10 cents, suddenly worth thousands of dollars? Let's get into what makes the 2021 D Mint mark dime so valuable. The high value is usually attributed to three main things: rarity, condition, and errors. Let's break those down. While millions of these dimes were minted, the ones that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for are few and far between. Some have certain minting errors, which can include anything from doubled dies to unusual strikings, making them rarer than the standard 2021 dime. Condition is everything in the coin world. Coins that have stayed in near-perfect condition since leaving the mint, uncirculated, with no scratches or wear, hold far more value. Professional grading services, like the PCGS or NGC, rate coins on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers representing higher quality. Only a handful of these 2021 D dimes have been graded in top-notch condition, adding to their scarcity and value. Finally, let's talk about errors. Some 2021 D dimes have shown unusual characteristics like die cracks, off-center strikes, and misalignments. Errors like these happen when the coin stamping process malfunctions, resulting in coins with unusual and unique features. To collectors, these quirks make the coin truly one of a kind. So why are people willing to pay thousands, even tens of thousands, for one of these coins? Well, the market for rare coins has always been competitive. Collectors are constantly on the hunt for that one coin that could complete their set or offer something extraordinary. And for the 2021 D Mint Mark dime with errors, prices have skyrocketed. As of this year, a few specific examples have been spotted on auction sites for as high as $25,900. Yes, you heard that right. While not every 2021 D dime will reach this level, ones with specific errors, pristine grading, and certification by a reputable service are what drive those big numbers. Now, for those of you hoping to find a treasure in your own pocket change or coin collection, here are some tips. Take a close look at your 2021 D dime under a magnifying glass or coin loop. Look for anything unusual, die cracks, doubling on the letters, or even off-center strikes. These errors could make a big difference in the coin's value. The cleaner the coin, the better. If your dime is in near mint condition, untouched by circulation, it stands a much higher chance of being valuable. Coins graded as MS65 or higher by grading services fetch the highest prices. For serious collectors, professional grading is a must. PCGS and NGC are two well-known coin grading companies, and they can authenticate your coin, giving it a grade that determines its quality and potentially raises its market value. So, to sum it up, while the 2021 D Mint Mark 1 cent dime coin might seem ordinary, its unique qualities, especially mint errors and high grades, can make it worth a small fortune. But remember, these high-value dimes are the exceptions, not the rule. Finding one in circulation is rare, but not impossible. Who knows? That dime in your pocket could be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Keep an eye out for those details, and if you do find a rare one, get it checked by a professional. We're diving deep into the 1963 D Lincoln penny, a humble 1-cent coin that could actually be worth way more than you think. In fact, one of these pennies recently sold for over $86,800. Crazy, right? You may even have one of these pennies sitting in a jar somewhere. So let's explore why it's so valuable and what to look out for. Make sure you watch all the way to the end so you don't miss any important details that could help you identify a valuable penny in your collection. Background on the 1963 D penny voiceover or host narration. Let's start with a bit of history on the 1963 D penny. This penny was part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. On the obverse side, you have President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side shows the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparo. The D Mint mark on the 1963 penny stands for Denver, where the coin was struck. That year, the Denver Mint produced around 1.7 billion pennies, making this coin pretty common in general circulation. So why would some of these be worth thousands? Why some 1963 D pennies are valuable voiceover or host narration. The key to a 1963 D penny's value lies in two main factors: condition and errors. Condition is critical when determining any coin's worth. The grading scale for coins goes from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70, with higher grades being much more valuable. For the 1963 D Lincoln penny, coins in pristine condition, that is, uncirculated and graded as MS65 or higher, tend to fetch high prices. This is because it's rare to find coins of that age without any blemishes or signs of wear. In fact, that eye-popping $86,800 price tag belongs to a 1963 D penny that was graded MS67 plus read by PCGS, one of the top coin grading services. The color designation, red, means the coin has retained its original coppery luster, which collectors love. Another major factor is errors. Errors can happen during the minting process, and they make coins unique and often highly sought after by collectors. Some errors that could be found on a 1963 D penny include double dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, and more. These rare errors make the coin different from the billions of standard coins minted that year and, as a result, increase its desirability and value. For instance, if you come across a 1963D penny with a double die, where parts of the design appear doubled, this could make the coin worth identifying valuable 1963D pennies on camera host or voiceover with visuals of grading criteria. Now, you might be thinking, how do I know if my 1963D penny is worth more than a cent? Here's what to look out for. Look at the condition. Examine the coin for wear and tear. If the coin looks fresh, shiny, and close to mint condition, it could have a higher grade. Avoid touching the coin directly with your fingers, as oils can damage the surface. Instead, use gloves or handle it by the edges. Check the mint mark. The D mint mark should be clear, but sometimes a repunched mint mark (RPM) error occurs, which could make the coin more valuable. In an RPM error, the D may look like it has been stamped multiple times or in slightly different locations. Inspect for doubling. Look closely at the details, especially around Lincoln's face, the date, and the text. If you notice any doubling, where letters or numbers look like they were stamped twice, this could be a double die error, and it's definitely worth getting checked out by a professional. Observe the color. Collector's prize. Red, pennies, which retain their original copper luster. Toned or darker coins are generally valued lower, while red, pennies, graded by a professional, can fetch a higher price. Look for off-center strikes. This error is easy to spot. If the design is shifted from the center of the coin, that could make your penny worth more. Alright, so you think you might have a valuable 1963D penny. What's the next step? If your penny has any of these characteristics, or if it's in really great condition, I'd highly recommend getting it professionally graded. Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, are two of the most trusted companies for coin grading. They'll evaluate your coin's condition and assign it a grade, which can be crucial for determining its market value. Getting your coin graded can cost anywhere from $20 to $100, depending on the coin and the grading service. But if your penny is truly in mint condition or has an error, it could be well worth the investment. Current market value and auction prices voiceover or host narration with auction footage or graphics. Now, let's talk about the current market value. Right now, a 1963D Lincoln penny in MS65 red can be worth around $15 to $25, while those in MS66 red condition may go for $50 to $75. But here's where it gets interesting. At the very top of the grading scale, pennies that score an MS67 red or MS67 plus red could sell for hundreds or even thousands. For example, a rare MS67 plus red 1963D Lincoln penny was sold at auction for over $86,800. That's a massive return on a 1-cent coin, but keep in mind, these high values are for rare, pristine examples. To wrap things up, here are a few quick tips. Look carefully through your collection. Even if you don't find a rare gem, learning to identify coins with potential value is a useful skill for any coin collector. Handle with care and avoid cleaning coins, as cleaning can decrease a coin's value. Stay informed about coin values and market trends. You never know when prices might change or a new discovery will raise the value of your penny. Who knew that a humble 1963D penny could potentially be worth thousands? If you think you've got a valuable coin, remember to get it checked out professionally to see if it could be your next big find. We're diving deep into a true gem of U.S. coinage history, the 1978 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Believe it or not, some of these pennies, in mint condition, are turning up with astonishing values, up to $75,800. So what makes this humble penny worth so much? Let's get into it. In 1978, The U.S. was producing Lincoln pennies at 3 different mints: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Now, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of pennies that year, but here's the twist. Philadelphia's coins traditionally had no mint mark. So, if you look at a 1978 penny and see no mint mark, that's actually standard for Philadelphia-made pennies. However, if this was normal, why is it creating such a buzz now, with some fetching values upwards of $75,800? It turns out, coin collectors and investors are now paying a premium for certain conditions and specific qualities. And the 1978 Lincoln penny, especially in pristine condition, is a surprising hot commodity. So why exactly is the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny skyrocketing in value? Well, there are a few key factors that make these coins stand out. First up, let's talk condition. Coins graded as mint state or MS-67 and above, meaning they're in nearly flawless condition, are incredibly rare for pennies from this era. Pennies like these can be worth thousands to tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, it's these pristine, high-grade versions that are the ones going for over $75,800. Demand from collectors. Next, we have collector demand. Lincoln pennies are among the most collected coins in America. So when a unique variation like this comes into focus, it creates a frenzy. The no mint mark from Philadelphia is well known, but finding one in perfect, uncirculated condition is extremely rare and desirable. 1978 was one of the last years before the copper-based Lincoln cents were replaced with zinc cores. So this penny is one of the last few full copper pennies minted, which adds to its historical value. To collectors, this is almost like holding onto a precious piece of pre-1982 history. Alright, here's where things get really exciting. The current market value of the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny. The average value of a standard 1978 penny with no mint mark is generally low, often between 10 cents to $1 in typical circulated condition. But if you've got one in pristine, high-grade condition, we're talking MS-67 or higher, now you're in the big leagues. At auctions, these rare, immaculate coins have reached values as high as $75,800. That's right. Just last year, one went for an eye-watering $75,800 due to its impeccable condition. And there are other high-grade sales in the tens of thousands, depending on market demand and the specific grade. So why the massive difference? It's all about rarity. Even slight imperfections can drop a coin's value significantly, which is why collectors will pay top dollar for these flawless examples. So you're probably wondering, do I have a penny worth thousands? Well, let's break down a few steps you can take to find out. Check the condition first. Look closely at the condition. Is it worn, scratched, or discolored? For a chance at high value, your penny needs to be in near-perfect shape. You can get a professional grading service, like PCGS or NGC, to assess it and assign a grade. Look for errors or unique features. Even though the 1978 no mint mark itself isn't technically an error, unique characteristics like doubling in the text or any striking anomalies can add value. Collectors love anything unusual. Research the market. Look up recent auction records and current listings to get an idea of the market trends. Sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and PCGS can give you insight into what collectors are currently paying. Consider professional appraisal. Once you've checked your coin's quality, it's wise to get it professionally appraised or graded. Not only will it certify the coin's value, but a high-grade certification can increase your penny's value at auction significantly. So what's the bottom line? While most 1978 no mint mark pennies won't fetch thousands, there are a select few that can be worth a small fortune if they're in pristine, uncirculated condition. If you come across one of these beauties with no scratches, marks, or wear, it might just be your lucky day. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or a beginner, Finding these rare coins is an exhilarating experience. And hey, even if yours isn't worth $75,800, it's still a fascinating piece of history. So keep an eye on those pennies, and who knows? You might just have a treasure in your pocket. Video, we're going to dive deep into what makes this seemingly ordinary quarter so valuable, and how you could possibly find one yourself. First, let's quickly cover a bit of history on the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 as a way to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. Since then, it's become one of the most widely circulated coins in the U.S. But by the early 90s, it was just another coin in people's pockets, right? Not quite. The 1991 Washington quarter has a unique backstory because, during this period, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins. However, a few of these quarters had a minting error that set them apart, and that's where their value comes in. So what makes this quarter so special? The 1991 P quarter is valuable mainly due to minting errors and its condition. The P on the quarter stands for the Philadelphia Mint, which produced this version. But here's where it gets interesting. Some quarters were struck with slight errors or in pristine conditions that make collectors go crazy. Now, let's talk about these potential errors. Mint errors are essentially flaws made during the coin-making process, and in many cases, they make the coin much rarer. For instance, double die errors, off-center strikes, or even missing elements can increase the value. These errors often go unnoticed by the average person, but can make the coin worth thousands, or in rare cases, even tens of thousands of dollars. If you want to know if your 1991 P quarter could be worth thousands, here's what to look for. First, check for any errors. A double die error, for example, means the design appears twice on the same coin. These errors may appear on the text, like Liberty or the date 1991, or even on Washington's profile itself. Another thing to check is the condition. Coins in pristine, or mint state, condition, which are graded as MS65 or higher, are incredibly valuable. Coins with a grading of MS67 or MS68 are worth even more, and are what often bring in thousands on the collector's market. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. Why are some 1991 P Washington quarters worth as much as $70,500? It comes down to rarity, condition, and market demand. The most valuable quarters are typically those that have been certified in very high grades and come with a unique or unusual feature, like an error. Combine those factors with a bit of luck, and you're looking at a coin valued in the tens of thousands. For instance, a recent auction saw a 1991 P Washington quarter sell for over $70,000 because it was in MS68 condition, practically flawless. Coins like this are extremely rare, as most quarters in circulation will have minor scratches or where that lowers their grading. So how can you identify if your 1991 P quarter is valuable? Here's a step-by-step guide. Check the mint mark. Look for the P symbol on the right side of George Washington's neck. This indicates it was minted in Philadelphia. Inspect for errors. Look closely for any mint errors. Use a magnifying glass if you can, as small errors can often be difficult to spot with the naked eye. Grade the condition. For coins that seem pristine, consider having them professionally graded. A coin that rates MS65 or higher can bring in serious money. Get a professional appraisal. If you think you have a high grade or error coin, it's worth getting it appraised by a professional numismatist or submitting it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC. Alright, now you've identified your coin. What's next? The value of a 1991 P Washington quarter can vary widely depending on the market, condition, and if there's an error. Generally, error-free coins in MS65 condition are worth around $25, but those with errors or higher grading can be worth much more. If you're looking to sell, consider using trusted auction sites or coin collecting forums. But remember, rarity and grading are everything. A professionally graded coin will almost always fetch a higher price. So, there you have it. The 1991 P. Washington quarter could indeed be a hidden treasure. Imagine finding one in your pocket change and realizing it could pay for a vacation, or even a car. If you have a 1991 P quarter, make sure to check for those key features we covered, and don't hesitate to have it professionally appraised if it looks promising. We're diving into a coin that's surprising collectors and investors alike, the 1995 P. Washington quarter. This coin might look pretty ordinary at first glance, but some collectors are paying as much as $60,500 for certain versions of it. So what makes this quarter so special, and how can you find out if you have one of these valuable quarters? Let's break it all down. Section 1. A quick history of the 1995 P. Washington quarter first. Let's start with a bit of background. The Washington quarter was introduced way back in 1932, commemorating the 200th birthday of George Washington. Since then, the quarter has become one of the most recognized and widely circulated coins in the U.S. In 1995, the U.S. Mint produced millions of quarters across its different mints, with the P marking quarters struck at the Philadelphia Mint. So why would a 1995 Philadelphia quarter be worth so much? Section 2. What makes the 1995 P. Washington quarter valuable? Alright, so here's the exciting part. Not all 1995 P quarters are worth a fortune. The average 1995 P quarter is only worth about 25 cents. But certain features and mint errors have made some of these coins incredibly valuable. Let's take a closer look. First, let's talk about condition. If you have a 1995 P. Washington quarter in pristine condition, what collectors call mint state or MS, then you're in luck. Coins in high-grade mint state can fetch thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. Why? Because they're rare? Out of millions of coins struck, very few remain in perfect condition due to handling, circulation, and wear over the years. Next, let's talk about errors and varieties. Some 1995 P quarters have unique features or mistakes from the minting process. These could include double dies, off-center strikes, or even a missing mint mark. Collectors and numismatists, who are coin experts, prize these error coins because they're so rare and unusual. The most famous example? Some 1995 P quarters were struck with a double die on Washington's face or on the text, which makes them super collectible. Section 3. How to check if your 1995 P Washington quarter is valuable. So, if you've got a 1995 P quarter and you're wondering if it's worth something, here's what to do. First, check the coin's condition. Look at it under a good light, maybe even a magnifying glass, to see if it has any scratches or discoloration. A flawless, shiny quarter might be in mint state, which could already make it worth more than face value. Next, check for any errors or unique features. Look at Washington's face and carefully examine the text. A double die will look like the design has been stamped twice, creating a shadow effect on letters or Washington's profile. Also, check the edges. Any imperfections or off-centering can indicate a mint error, which could mean big money. So let's get to the big question. What's the 1995 P quarter actually worth today? For a regular, circulated 1995 P Washington quarter, you're probably looking at around 25 cents. That's right, face value. But for high-grade, mint state versions, those can range anywhere from $50 to several $1,000s, depending on their grading and the market at the time. Here's the exciting part. One of the highest recorded sales for a 1995 P Washington quarter went for $60,500 at an auction. That's right, over $60,000. Now, keep in mind, this was a very rare, nearly flawless coin that graded at MS-68, one of the highest grades possible. But even quarters in lower mint states, like MS-66 or MS-67, can fetch several hundred to a few $1,000s at auction. Prices fluctuate, so if you think you have a valuable quarter, check online auction sites or consult with a certified coin dealer. Sites like Heritage Auctions, PCGS, and NGC are great places to see recent sales and compare the market. Section 5. Where can you find a 1995 P Washington quarter? If you're excited about finding one of these quarters, you might be wondering where to start looking. Here are a few places to try. Pocket change. Yes, people have actually found valuable coins in their everyday pocket change. So always keep an eye out. Coin rolls. Go to the bank and ask for rolls of quarters. You never know what could be hiding in there. Garage sales or estate sales. Sometimes people have old jars or collections of coins they're willing to sell off for face value. So, could you have one of these rare 1995 P Washington quarters in your pocket right now? It's definitely possible. With a little patience and a good eye, you could discover a valuable piece of history, or maybe even cash in big. We're talking about a coin that's been stirring up a lot of buzz lately, the 2014 P Washington quarter. If you've got one of these lying around, especially in certain conditions, you might be holding onto a small fortune. In fact, some of these quarters are going for as much as $50,000 on the market. So let's dig into why this 25-cent coin is worth so much to collectors, and how you might identify if your quarter could be one of the valuable ones. To set the stage, let's talk about the Washington Quarter Series. First introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, this quarter design became an iconic piece of American currency. While the design has gone through several modifications over the years, one thing remains consistent. Collectors have always been intrigued by rare variants and errors within this series. The 2014 P Washington quarter is no exception. What makes it particularly interesting is not only the potential value of certain rare types, but also the fact that it was struck during the America the Beautiful series, specifically featuring the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Tennessee. This was part of a program where each coin honored a national park or historic site. Now, you're probably wondering, how does a regular quarter from 2014 end up being worth as much as $50,000? Well, there are a few key factors that contribute to this. Many of the highest value 2014 P quarters are valuable because they contain minting errors. These errors can occur during the production process, and they make certain coins unique. Some notable errors include double dies, clipped planchets, and off-center strikes. These types of mistakes can lead collectors to pay thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, just to get their hands on a rare error. Another huge factor in the value of a coin is its condition or grade. Coins graded MS-68 or MS-69 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, are highly sought after because they're incredibly rare in such pristine condition. Out of the millions of quarters produced, only a tiny fraction receives such high grades. For 2014 P quarters with a perfect grade, the market value can soar, especially if they also have a desirable error. The collector demand for the 2014 P Washington quarter has surged in recent years, especially with increased interest in error coins and rare variants. As more collectors look to complete their America the Beautiful collections, high-grade or error versions of this coin become more appealing, driving up the price. Now, let's get into the numbers. As of now, a regular 2014 P Washington quarter without any errors or special attributes typically isn't worth more than face value if it's circulated. However, if you have one in uncirculated condition, you might be looking at anywhere from $1 to $5 for a typical specimen. But here's where it gets exciting. Error coins. Depending on the type of error, A 2014p quarter can fetch anywhere from $100 to several $1,000s. For instance, a double die or a coin with significant striking errors could go for well over $5,000 at auction. High-grade coins, MS68 or MS69. If you've got a 2014p quarter that's been graded at MS68 or above, your coin could easily be worth between $500 to $5,000. And yes, there are some rare instances where a combination of an error and a high grade has resulted in a value close to $50,000. Remember, coin values are always influenced by the market demand. So, as more collectors join the hobby or seek rare pieces, these values can fluctuate, sometimes dramatically. Alright, so you're probably itching to check your quarters now. Here are some expert tips for identifying whether you have a valuable 2014p Washington quarter. K. The P mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia. Make sure it's a 2014 quarter with the correct mark before diving deeper. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to closely examine both sides of the coin. Look for doubling on the letters or details of Washington's profile. This would indicate a double die. Also, check for any unusual features like off-center strikes or incomplete designs. Condition is key. If the coin has no noticeable wear, you're already ahead of the game. To maximize the value, consider having it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC, especially if you suspect it's in mint state condition. Before selling, check recent auction results or listings from reputable coin dealers. Websites like Heritage Auctions or eBay can give you a sense of the current market for similar coins. So, you've identified a potential jackpot coin. Now what? Here are some options for selling it. Platforms like eBay and Heritage Auctions are popular for rare coins. Make sure to highlight any unique attributes of the coin and include high-quality photos to attract buyers. Some local coin dealers may be interested in buying your quarter, though they might offer less than the potential auction value. Still, it's a quick and easy way to cash out. These are excellent places to connect with serious collectors and potentially get top dollar. Many coin shows also have grading services on site, which can help verify and boost the value of your coin. And there you have it. The 2014p Washington quarter might just be one of the most exciting modern coins to keep an eye out for. Whether it's an error coin, a high-grade specimen, or just a beautiful addition to a collection, it's amazing how much these quarters can be worth. Before you go, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more content on coin collecting and other valuable finds. And of course, let us know in the comments if you think you've got a valuable 2014p quarter or any other rare coins you'd like us to cover.